Giving smaller businesses an opportunity to expand, to vision, to dream, to be more. That is what the business district is about.
That's right.
Giving entrepreneurs an opportunity to interface and reach their customers.
Master Coach Apostle Courtney McLean and Business Coach Zidane Sinister are powered up to share their expertise on the business end.
Good afternoon, listeners and viewers. This is another episode of the Business End. And today we have a power-packed episode on the business end. On the business end, just a reminder, on the business end, we provide real and practical solutions to advance businesses by speaking with experts in the field, as well as existing entrepreneurs, and they will share their blueprints, their story, in a bit to motivate and inspire. And today is no different. We have a renowned lady of integrity and excellence. She is Mrs. Maria Jones. Mrs. Maria Jones is the CEO and founder, managing director of the Business District. She's also the executive chairman of the Business District. She has served in the executive vice president capacity of marketing and sales at the Air Jamaica Limited. She also was a member of the pioneering team that executed the start of CVM television. Notwithstanding that, she was also the director of marketing and sales for CVM television. She also served as, get this, the first CEO of the Management Institute for National Development, better known as MIND. Mrs. Jones also served as the permanent secretary for many ministries, namely the Ministry of Education, the Ministry of Youth and Sports and Culture. And I tell you, we have a power-packed lady here today. I'm not guessing. She, Mrs. Jones, has served on many boards of directors. Too many companies to name. And she don't want me to make any company feel left out. So it's too many to name. She has also been a recipient of the Aaron Matalan Award for Excellence from the Institute of Management and Production, IMP. She also received Award of Excellence from her alma mater in 2002, the Past Student Association of Covent of Mercy Alpha Academy, where we affectionately call Alpha. She is our guest today on the business end, Mrs. Jones. Welcome, Mrs. Jones, to the business end.
Thank you very much, Zidane.
It's a pleasure to have you. I know we are in for a power pack, ladies and gentlemen. So fasten your seatbelts and get ready to unpack a powerful journey with this mighty woman of integrity and excellence. Now, let's begin with, who is the Business District and what do you offer?
Well, the Business District is a serviced office business.
Yes.
These days they're called co-working centers.
Yes.
But we still use the expression serviced offices. We rent physical and virtual offices in packages, including with a whole range of support services. Depending on the package, for example, our service would include a receptionist, administrative assistants, internet, all utilities, telephone, let's see, so many things. Dining facilities, meeting rooms, that's important.
Yes.
We even have storage pods, and of course there's a whole security, 24/7 security that is normal for our business. The business district started in 1993. We opened at Old Hope Road in 2011, and we opened at Cargill Avenue, 19 Cargill Avenue in 2022.
Yes.
We service a range of associates, from startup businesses to transition and the transition in businesses who, let's say, are just wanting to get a business started without having to incur the cost of that are normally associated with a business startup. But we also serve existing businesses. I guess you could almost think of those folks as outsourcing much of their operating activities to us. About 65% of our associates, that's what we call our clients.
Yes.
Because we're a community, really, of associates. So about 65% are virtual, on virtual mode.
Yes.
So that's what we do in a very, very nutshell.
Yes, understood. But you know what's amazing? Since COVID, there have been a lot of those businesses that have sought to seek the services of the business district because it's an efficient way of get your footprints out into the business space and to bring that level of professionalism when you can outsource some of these services as well. But you know what I find fascinating? That you have a storage unit. That's different.
Oh yes,
That's different. That's
we
different.
have many storage
Yes.
units at the new location.
At the new location.
Yes, like I say new location, I always mean 19 Cargill Avenue.
19 Cargill Avenue. Might I say it's the most modern of those offerings.
Yes.
So we implore listeners, if you have such a need, you should contact the business district. Now, you have had an illustrious career in marketing, in business, in public sector management. What would you say accounts for that level of success that you would have had in those various areas?
I believe that I should do the best with everything I touch.
Yes.
In other words, excellence has been my guiding principle from a
Yes.
very, very young age, and it continues to be
Yes.
so. And as you can see, I'm not so young anymore, but
I don't know if we can tell that.
It's true,
Listeners
and it's
and
true.
viewers, if you're seeing her in studio, she doesn't look
It's
a
true.
touch above 20.
Yeah, right. I'm putting you on the wheel for that. Then so it's about excellence. That's where I usually start. I vision a lot. I can see things. I can see. I tend to look ahead.
Yes.
You know, what can happen? What's going to happen? Who are going to be the players? You know, what will people need? It's just the way I usually think.
Yes.
I speak truth. I speak truth to myself first, and then
Yes.
and to others automatically. In other words, I don't fool myself about what's going on, what I'm doing, and so forth. I have very, very high standards, I'm what in other settings that might be called anal. I really have high standards, and
Yes.
I try to
Yes.
convey or transfer those standards into my business and to teach my staff these standards.
Yes.
I'm a bit of a mild risk taker. I'm not a heavy risk taker, but I will take some risk,
Yes.
you know. And, you know, risk taking is maybe not all that is cracked up to be. If you have a partner who is supportive and all of that, and, you know, you have kind of backative in that person,
Yes.
maybe you're not taking all that many risks because you really have backing, you know.
Yeah.
Then I'm customer conscious, very customer conscious. I teach my staff and I push the whole business of treating your customers as to the best of your ability, always. Then I live by the principle that two heads are better than one. Really know that my ideas on their own will fall flat many times, but just expose those ideas to other people, and
Yeah.
you're amazed sometimes at what comes out,
Yes.
how they develop. So two heads are better than one. I advise people about that all the time. Then I do tend to be, I'm not a very good follower. I do tend to think for myself. You know, I try my best to be a thinker, and I think those are the basic principles, I think, by which I live my life, especially my professional life.
Yes,
Right.
yes. And those are solid advice. She says she believes in high standards. She believes in excellence. And once you create that culture of excellence, you will strive forward. She also says she believes in the collaborative effort of persons who have like mind and can able to support you in that venture going forward. Those are very solid advice. So, Lady Jones, how do you separate yourselves from your competition?
Oh, well, that wasn't all that difficult, you know, because we pioneered this business concept in Jamaica.
Say that again.
We were the pioneers.
Say that again. The business
I started this business in
Yes.
1993. We were the
Yes.
first to bring this
Yes.
business to Jamaica.
Yes.
So it means that we have a massive amount of experience.
Yes.
And we did close the business in 98, 99 when
Yes.
when the banking sector
Yes.
was in near collapse, and
Yes.
and many businesses closed or
Yeah.
failed. We
Yeah.
didn't fail, we just closed.
Yeah.
But so that experience is there. But in addition to that, myself, my board members, and my senior management, we bring to the table significant expertise,
Yeah.
skills in the whole business of organizational management. And although we're managing the business district, we're also managing the businesses for dozens, hundreds of people actually. So the organizational management is a critical skill
yes.
for us. And so we're our leadership in this field is kind of easy, not difficult. And in fact, our first competitor, having started in 93, closed in 98, reopened in 2011, our first competitor came on in 2017.
Yes.
So you
So
see,
you still
right,
still have a head start.
big head start,
Yeah.
and our range of services,
Yes.
I don't think is matched by any other company. And if you ask me the names of my competitors, I can probably tell you one or two.
Yes.
Because I really don't focus too much
Yes,
on
yes.
competition. We just put our heads down and we move from day
You
to
focus
day.
on
We
what
focus
you have to offer
and
to
what-
your clients, and
going
you
forward.
offer value to your clients,
Yes.
and your value will bring customers all the time.
Right, that's
You may mention of your expertise that you have for these various areas. Are there any some of your associates that ever come to you and say, I'm having this challenge, and Lady Jones, how can I maneuver or weather that storm? Because I gather that they would have also learned.
Some do,
Yes.
some do. Especially the ones I get closer to.
Get closer to.
Yeah, and of course because we have clients who started the same year we started with us, the same year
yes.
we started we resumed in 2011. Yes, so we do have some deep relationships. Yes, and we talk. We talk a lot about
Some of
business
those
and so forth.
Some of those reasons is the reason why the business district is separate and apart from their competitors. They're in the space of their clients and their associates. They're providing additional support, not just organizational and administrative support, but she's also lending her expertise and the board expertise into performing and to giving them that avenue for growth. Now, as a startup company, so many of them are startups, I would imagine.
Yeah.
And they would come to you and they would speak to you. What are some of the main recommendations you would give any startup right now to weather any pitfalls?
Number of them.
Yes.
Usually I start by saying to them, avoid planning for quick results.
Yes.
Avoid planning to make a ton of money in the first few months and so forth.
Yes.
I've actually seen people come in with that idea that, after 3 months, I have working capital for about 3 months, and by that time we'll be making money.
Yes.
That would have to be a most unusual business concept. I don't say it can't happen,
Yes.
but it's very unlikely to happen.
Yes.
Most businesses then and still now, they will take 2 to 4 years to stand on their feet. So plan for the long haul.
Yes.
That's the first thing. Watch your expenditures carefully. Some folks cannot avoid living off the income that they're just beginning to earn. That can't be avoided. But if it's at all possible, keep it as low as you can.
Yes.
Because sometimes you're spending income that you have not even yet earned. Have to be careful with your expenditure. Take your marketing seriously. And these days, the opportunities to market on social media is so varied and vast, and varied too in terms of what it can cost you, from little bit to plenty, depending on what you want to do. But take your marketing seriously, even if you're talking word of mouth, even if it's word of mouth is the media you're going to use. Take it seriously, because how your customers going to know about it if you don't market?
If you don't market.
So you have to do that. I always remind people, take your statutory responsibilities seriously. In government say you must file things monthly or annually. File them monthly or annually. Not only are you showing that you're serious about business, but you're also you're avoiding some conflicts with
Yes,
government,
yes, yes.
and you're also showing that I'm running an established business. We're not a little fly by night. We're doing things properly, that kind of thing. I like to say appoint a board of directors, because it's coming back to my saying earlier that two heads are better than one. When you have a board of directors, you have the benefit of other people's advice, other
Yes.
people's inputs, and that I cannot overstate how important that is.
Yes.
Then I like to remind people, train your staff. Make
Yes.
sure your staff are properly trained, not only in the operational activities, but in customer service,
Yes.
and all of that, and
Yes.
interactions with each other and so
Yes.
forth. Make sure your staff are well trained. All right, and you treat your customers with the utmost respect.
Mrs. Jones had experience on several stop and starts, but what I want to call it is that she strategized, knowing when to pivot, when to analyze, when to go again. She did not give up. She did not give up, because a good idea, a valuable idea, may just be about timing and re-strategizing and re-enter. Now, Lady Jones, you would have experienced challenges. You explained to us before that of the 1990s financial meltdown. What are some of the other challenges that you would experience in business, and how have you dealt with them?
But that was, I'd like to expand on that one a
Yeah,
little
sure,
bit.
sure,
That
sure.
was
Go ahead.
certainly
Go ahead.
a special period in our lives. Imagine trying to keep a business afloat when the whole business sector is shut down.
Yes.
Because our business is a kind of a barometer of business startup.
Yes.
When businesses such as ours are doing well, it means there is economic well-being. It's an
Yes.
indicator of general economic well-being.
Yes.
At that point in time, nobody was starting a business, and you're trying to keep your business that
Yes.
you're operating afloat. After a while, you know it wasn't going to be possible, so you close it and you moved on. So that was our biggest challenge.
Yes.
And it wasn't just that, there was the whole banking sector. You dare not have an overdraft, for example, because
Yes.
it's like 7 to 5% interest rate.
Yes.
Was not
Yes.
uncommon, and so forth.
Yes.
So that was our biggest challenge. Marketing, this concept, remember we were the only ones for many years. So marketing a concept, which when you're the only person, the only company, the only organization in that field, major challenge.
Yeah.
Because you're trying to get your message across to everybody, which is quite impossible and quite costly.
Yeah.
And so this is one of the reasons why I do not really and truly mind competition.
Yeah.
Because once competition came in, they expanded the marketing.
Yes.
The marketing, the cake, the pie didn't reduce.
Yes.
It got bigger because more of us were talking about it.
Yeah.
So marketing the concept on your own was,
Yes.
in a country that had never heard of it,
Yes.
was pretty challenging. And then I think, personally, I thought we started too big in '93.
Yes.
We started with a large space on Duke Street, and then we opened a second branch on Oxford Terrace. That was, big risk taking. But remember what I told you about risk taking earlier?
Yes.
It's not all that is cracked up to be.
Yes.
And so those were the main challenges that we dealt with, just keeping our heads above water during those trying times.
But after she has re-strategized, reinvented herself, she came back. And I'm sure coming back stronger, the business district was stronger. What are some of the highlights? Having come back big and strong.
All right. Well, just keeping ourselves afloat for 12 years since 2011 has been a nice win.
Yes.
It's been a nice win. It's constructing our second location. the first one was building existed. Our second location was a for-purpose building. So
Yes.
we were able to build it exactly as we thought a serviced office ought to be
Yes.
organized. Kind of a nice win owning both the buildings that you work from. That's not a bad feeling.
Certainly, certainly not. Certainly not at all. Certainly not at all.
It's also having hundreds of associates. We literally have hundreds of associates now
Yes.
who work for us, and remember, not work through the business
Yes,
district.
yes.
And remember, I told you about 65%
Yes.
are in the virtual mode, and knowing that we are instrumental in causing many businesses to exist because there is the space, there's this business startup friendly space, which is now available, which was made available because we had the pioneering thoughts
Yes.
initially. And so it make you kind of feel good that you've affected a lot of lives.
Yes.
That's how I see.
Yes, contributing to national development, giving smaller businesses an opportunity to expand, to vision, to dream, to be more. That is what the business district is about.
That's right.
Giving entrepreneurs an opportunity to interface and reach their customers. So let me ask you, beyond what you have mentioned, and you have mentioned a lot for us to unpack here. Beyond what you have mentioned, Lady Jones, what are any other advice would you give our listeners who are desirous to get into business?
You know, I've said a lot, as you correctly say. Outside of this, I'm just saying, have faith in yourself, no? You know, and in your abilities, and in your vision. Don't hold on to it. You know, you dream it up, and you there is a reason why you dreamt it up. Try your best to stick with it. Do your best to hold on to that, to your vision. Don't let it go too easily.
Don't let it go too easily. Right. So, might I add, we are coming to a close.
Yes.
But what next for the business district?
Well, we're looking to expand to other areas, but I think we would be using the franchising route.
Okay.
You know, we have we have at least one that is being considered, and so that's our main area. We have some other business ideas, but I'm really not at liberty to discuss those.
Yes,
now.
we can't let everything out. Can't let everything out. She has to keep something inside.
To hold on to something.
Yes, most certainly. Wouldn't want you to do that. So where and how can persons find you?
Well, the business district, we have two locations, as you would have gleaned from now. We're at District 360s at 19 Cargill Avenue. Our number is 876-665-3906. And then there's a District Old Hope at 22B Old Hope Road. We have a website, mybusinessdistrict.com. We have a good website, and also it's a website from which you can actually make bookings.
Okay, so there you have it. We would just have a delightful conversation. It's a very solid conversation with Mrs. Maria Jones from the Business District. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is the time that we unpack some of the gems. Our time is upon us, but we will try to unlock about 3 or so. And then what you have to do, you have to contact Lady Maria Jones for more. You contact the business end for more. Come over and interact with us. But let me go. She says, have a standard, have a culture of excellence, high standard of excellence. Once you have that standard, that's a part of your organization, you would have that winning mentality and you will push your company forward. She says, have systems in place. Have systems such that you're able to pay the government, pay your statutories, have these stuff in place, training for your staff. Human development is very important. She says once you have those systems and human development training in alignment with your business growth, you will see further growth and success. Miss Maria Jones also says to us that you must never give up. If you have something, you dream something, you thought of something, stick to it. Give birth to that vision. Do not give up. Do not waver. and starting over or pivoting doesn't mean you have failed. I like that one. What you need to do is re-strategize and continue to push on with your business. Believe in yourself. Have good supporting systems. Have good supporting partners who believe in your vision. And that network, whether it's from your board of directors or your supporting system in your family and friends, that would propel your business forward. Those are serious, solid gems. And we thank Lady Maria Jones for sharing with us today. It has been a delightful, edifying conversation. Now, we are up on that close on the business end. This has been another episode of Business End, but I want you to come over, follow our social. It is at the Business End Show on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and Spotify. Come over, subscribe, share, tell a friend, like, and you will certainly be there to interact with us. This has been another episode of the Business End. Continue to be your increasing best. Thank you.
Master Coach Apostle Courtney McLean and Business Coach Zidane Sinister are powered up to share their expertise on the business end. But don't forget to tell a friend or a colleague, and of course have your tools on hand, your notebook and your pen. Classes are in session every Tuesday, 3:30 on Gospel JA for the business end. Master Coach Apostle Courtney McLean and Business Coach Zidane Sinister await you.